This is a perfectly clean Yeti with perfect components, right? Well, except from one major component on the Yeti called the Switch Infinity. This component is on almost every Yeti and can get filthy. So I'm going to walk you through how to clean this. First things first is you're going to want to take off that rear wheel. Next, I take off the crankset. You don't need to do this technically, but it's easier to get to the Switch Infinity. Now we are going to take off that shock. This is kind of tricky. It's a 4mm, and then when you take off that bolt, it's actually a 5mm up inside that bolt. It's kind of weird, but a technique that Yeti uses a lot. Just for frame safety, put a cloth between your linkage. Now take off your linkage bolts, not forgetting that small bolt in the back. Now that you've done this to both sides, go ahead and pull down your linkage. Next, take out the bolt that connects your rear triangle to your Switch Infinity. Do this with a 5mm and then, like the shock, a 10mm inside that bolt. This will crank out that little bolt, so be sure and catch it. Now take something soft and knock that little bolt out. Now we're going to take off your rear triangle and zip tie it to your frame with the cloth. The reason we can't take off the entire rear triangle is because of your brake hose. Now that you have access to your Switch Infinity, go ahead and take out those 4 bolts. Now that you've taken it out, you can see just how filthy this thing gets being next to your wheel, and also how sticky it is. First step to cleaning it is go ahead and take a cloth and wipe it off. Now for greasing, you're going to grab your Switch Infinity grease gun. And this is where it gets weird. Rotate it and put it inside the bolt. Yes, you heard me, inside the bolt. What? And grease it until there's oil leaking out of the bearing. Now you're going to reverse all those steps and put it back together. While putting everything back together, make sure it all works smoothly. Be sure and look up all the torque specs, especially for the shock. Now that everything is back together, cycle your suspension and then enjoy your nice clean Switch Infinity. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something on this video. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel.